What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar BYT, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome to the second episode of the FCB Show, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on, everybody? Big up to all the people in the chat. Big up to every single person that is here. This is the Bayern Munich Barcelona show, guys. The FCB Show, episode 2. Big up to my fellow panelists, Zir in the chat. Big up to you, man. You good, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. But I found my mic worked. Figured it out.
Yeah, you had to refresh. I had a feeling that's how you fixed it.
Yeah, it's not even about refreshing. Apparently, there's like this mini arrow next to mute, and it has all the my input or not input output was wrong. It was on the microphone. It should have been on the laptop
output. Yeah,
I figured it out. Figured it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but hey, listen, man. Hopefully, your internet is much better than the last time, bro.
Brother, you know what? Since that time, I have a LAN cable set up on my antenna right here.
All right.
So we're all good.
That's good.
Yeah, we're all good, guys. We're all good.
But big up to you for the raid, man. Appreciate you for the raid.
Yeah, of course, man. You know what I'm saying? Just finish the heavyweight show. Go check that out later on your free time if you haven't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, guys. Make sure you guys go watch the heavyweight show, man. I'm actually part of the panel. I was actually there not too long ago. But big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to Reno in the chat. Big up to Juan in the chat. He's always on the Football Corner show. Big up to you.
Oh, that guy hates my guts, but big up to him anyway.
Oh, yeah, man. Hey, listen, he's a Madridista, man, so he can hold that. Well, big up to you, big up to you, Juan, for being here, man. But listen, we're back here for the FCB show, guys. Obviously, there's been a lot of things that have come out, this week on both of our clubs here. Basically, I would like to, first of all, start, obviously, in the Copa del Rey, because we just did Del Rey a few days ago, right? Yesterday, actually, funny enough, right? And we booked our place in the final. Standard 1-0 victory, just easy. It wasn't, at the end of the day, it was a very comfortable win in the end. These guys didn't really show much fight, and I'm very, very happy, man. At the end of the day, I was very impressed with the way we played. It wasn't the most fanciest football, but listen, I never felt like we're under pressure, man. We controlled the game and we got the win. And I know you were watching the game as well, man. So what did you think as the neutral watching the game, bro?
You know what, man? I actually expected more of a tougher game. And I just saw Barcelona absolutely cook it. Bro, Atleti defenders were shook, bro. I was like, whoa. Like, I've never seen Atletico Madrid overcommit themselves to a Yamal or something like that. That is not, bro. The goal that you scored, for example, one pass, well, I believe it was a Chavella pass as well, split open past 3 defenders, bro. And then Torres, all he does, one tap, bottom bins, done. You know what I mean? It's just, listen, man. Everyone and their mom knows I despise Barcelona. I actually despise them more than Real Madrid. But sometimes when you just see greats in front of you, you're just like, you know what? Well, who are you fooling? Yeah, it's just you may as well acknowledge it, bro. No pun intended. You know what I mean? Like, do it, because I'm telling you, man. Like, if nobody is gonna respect Barcelona now, I'm gonna use this this statement, the same way I do for Pedri. You don't understand how good they are until you play them. Put it that way, bro. That's how I felt. I was like, Pedri, not best youngster, not this. I play against him. Man's bossing it against Palinia, Kimmich, and all these guys. I'm like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, not many people will talk about him because he's not the type of guy that provides GA. I think I saw recently he has 4 goals, 4 assists. But people don't get his role. But
he's the one that does all the donkey work to put it to the right pass for the guy who assists the goal.
That's what I'm saying. He's just one of them guys. And you know what? I have to give Flick a lot of credit. We were talking about this on Discord. Flick effect is what's going on with Pedri when it comes to defending. Because, boy, that guy's showing hella physicality. Not just him. To be fair,
look at
Frankie de Jong, yeah. Hey, I've never seen a guy more fit in my life since he's come back, bro. Fair enough. You know what I mean? Bro, and the one that we talked about, Balde, what the? You know what I mean?
That picture, man. I saw that and instantly it just reminded me of Goretzka, bro. Seeing Goretzka with that picture, man.
Actually, remind me more of Davies, to be fair.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying stuff back because Goretzka was like, yeah, I mean.
He was Lesnar, bro.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah. Goretzka, I think Goretzka is like the elite level of like transformation, bro. I'd say him and Lewandowski. Them two for
right?
me. Them two, oh my days, bro. You know what I mean? And then you can probably, but hey, listen, if you don't want to talk for Barcelona, I think Pedri's one is ridiculous. The Pedri one is madness.
I
You know what I
haven't
mean?
seen much of Pedro. I've seen some transformation from him. It's very impressive. I was very impressed with how we played, and honestly, right, for me, what really impressed me in the game was just how we just shut them out, right, compared to how we played them in the first. I mean, I get it. It was after a Champions League game. We were very tired. Both teams were tired, so we were, it was very, very poor performance from defensively from both teams. But this was different, right? The way we were able to just shut them out in their own stadium, it was actually unbelievable compared to how we played them earlier in the Copa del Rey for the 4-4, right? How open we were. Like we were completely shut, right?
I do think,
Chesney,
yeah.
Chesney didn't have to do anything. Like he could literally have had a chair. He could have had his chair there. He could have had like his newspaper, bro, because that's how comfortable he was, bro. 0 shots on target. They had 4 shots all game. We had 10 shots, bro, before halftime. Like that's how dominant we were in that game, right? And you mentioned it, Yamal was absolutely cooking them. These guys were so disorganized. It doesn't make any sense because they did play like 5 at the back yesterday in their game. Right? It
Yeah,
was
but
like
they
a 3 at the
overcommitted.
back.
I'm like, what are they doing, bro?
Like it made 0 sense. And for me, I was very, very happy. And look, I'm saying it now, right? I've said it before. Form-wise, we are the best team in the world right now. You know me, I'm not one of these people that rushes into conclusions. But if you look at us this year, we've gone to another level. You understand what I'm saying, right? It's not that we're just winning. It's how we're winning. Like sometimes we win dominant, and then there's some games where we're not having things our way. We just leave there with the win, like a 1-0 or like a 2-1. You know what I mean? It's not beautiful, it's not fancy, but we get the W. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, by
And
the way,
that
can I just say, Bassam makes a good point, and I was gonna bring that up. He did you if you, you're lucky that was offside.
But that's the thing. At the end of the day, I'll be honest with you. You saw Hansi Flick actually reacted to it very quickly because when Alexander Sørloth came in, yes, that offside moment, and I think that Hansi Flick kind of understood that. He was like, "Listen," he kind of told the defenders, "Listen, when this guy comes in, make sure you guys know where the line is." You understand what I'm saying? Make sure you guys know where the line is. Do not and make sure you guys are in the line because this guy, he's usually very good at staying on side. You understand what I'm saying, right? By the minimal of margins. And you saw it. It was like the tiniest margin. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, right? Clearly, the line worked out for us, and we ended up winning the game, right? And you saw what happened later on when he scored the offside goal. Quickly, Hansi Flick reacted. He brought on Araujo and put Araujo on him, just like I said he would, right? He put him on him. Bro, what did Solo do after Araujo came in? Like literally, what did he do? Like how many times did he go? Like, bro, it was absolutely great. Like for me, tactically from the manager, right? He did so well. And look, I've said it before. I know we're not always going to win games the best ways, right? And I'm not looking for the fanciest, most beautiful 10 out of 10. I mean, I would love to. Like we all want to see our teams dominate and win in style. You understand what I'm saying, right? However, I'm one of these people where in my head, I'm just like, listen, sometimes if you want to win the big trophies, you got to accept that sometimes you're going to scumbag wins. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're not always going to be at your best. It's like when you guys won the treble with him, right? Yeah, you guys destroyed us.
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
Right? You guys destroyed us in the quarterfinals. You destroyed Chelsea. You destroyed Lyon. I remember watching that final against PSG. PSG, they played so well in that game. But guess what? It didn't matter because who scored the only goal of the game? It was Bayern. And that's why you guys won the treble. And that's what is important. It's always about how you win it. It's that you just get it done at the end, right? And listen, I'm very confident. Obviously, being in the final, like this is great. Like just, getting it out of the way, being in the final now. We don't have to think about the final now for a while. You understand what I'm saying, right? We're back in the league. Champions League is coming up, right? And everything is going to, I'm very, very confident. But yeah, man. I mean, listen, great win from the guys. I was very, very impressed. And big up to you, Godfrey. Godfrey says De Jong's resurgence. He really doesn't want to leave Barca. At the end of the day, bro, I feel like Hansi Flick has really brought the best out of De Jong. Because I've never seen De Jong like this for Barca. I've seen De Jong have good seasons for Barca, right? But I think that now, I feel like on the flick, he's finally found his place on the flick, because I didn't trust him playing as a defensive midfielder. But the physicality he showed in the game against Aleti impressed me, because I was like, yo, that is one thing I thought he didn't have. But he showed it. His slight tackling, bro. He's literally running, defending, slight tackling, intercepting the ball. I'm like, yo, I didn't know you had this in your game. You understand what I'm saying? He had an amazing game in defensive midfield. And listen, I've said before, De Jong at his best, for me, my dream is having him in the midfield with Pedri and Olmo. You understand what I'm saying? Because I think that's our best midfield. Because I think that he offers more, right? If he can work on his defensive work, I think that we have our top defensive midfielder right there, right? But this is all down to Flick. And listen, obviously, Hansi Flick is a manager both of us know. As a Bayern fan, like, how impressive have you been how impressed have you been with how Hansi Flick has turned up at Barcelona, how well he's done?
I mean, some of the things I'm seeing out of him at Barça is the same thing I've seen at Bayern. Although I have to say, though, one thing I will say that goes to your favor going forward, at least, is you have better players as a whole. Like Yamal on the right, better than Gnabry. Now, yes, Gnabry scored hella goals.
Right.
Cool. But the thing is, you have a Rafinha to do so on the other end, right?
Yeah.
Our left-hand side, I remember we had Perisic.
Yeah.
Perisic, I actually feel like was underrated back then.
No, he was great for you guys. He was actually pretty good. I thought you guys.
I actually wanted him to start in the final as well.
You guys did try to sign him, but Inter refused. Remember, because I think you guys went in for.
No. Actually, Bayern refused.
Oh, really? I thought you guys bid for him. I'm sure you guys bid. It was a little bit, I think. But
no, Bayern didn't want to extend Coutinho because of the money. Because remember, he was 120 for like we had to pay you 120 to sign him.
Oh yeah.
And Perisic, I think they didn't want to pay up the money, even though it was not that expensive. Bro, Salihamidzic was moving hella stingy. It got to a stage, I remember, after winning the Champions League, we ended up signing Bunassar, Choupo-Moting, and who else did we sign as well? Somebody needs to remind me. I actually forgot. There was another player that we signed, random. Roca.
Marc Roca, yeah, from Espanyol, yeah.
Yeah, we signed them man. Oh yeah, and Choupo-Moting. That's a Choupo-Moting, didn't I?
Choupo-Moting, yeah, from PSG,
yes. Yeah, we signed them man on deadline day or the day prior. Like
crazy.
To replace them when we were supposed to sign players ahead of time after winning a treble. It's like they're like, oh, we won the treble. Yeah, we have Hansi Flick. Yeah, we're gonna definitely do it again. Guess what? Lewandowski injured. Yeah, we have Choupo-Moting. Great. Okay, fine. No problem.
Yep.
To be fair, I actually think Choupo-Moting could be staged right now.
For you guys, to be fair.
Yeah. He done a job. No problem.
He was called upon. He actually turned up.
But Bunassar, pathetic. Marc Roca, I'm not gonna lie. At the time, I actually thought there was a potential in him.
No, he was highly rated in Spain. So
yeah. But it just didn't go to plan. He barely got minutes. He was a bit too I will say that with Marc Roca though, whenever he did play, I think Palhinha is going through the same problems, which is kind of worrying. Too rash. That's the problem. I don't know if you noticed it in La Liga at the time, but he was very rash with us.
I mean,
that's why he was not favored as much.
He's still down at Betis. I think that Betis is actually doing well down there.
But again, I think it's the difference in leagues, though, because in the Bundesliga, you would rather not have hella rash guys, whereas in La Liga, you actually wouldn't mind rash guys to take down the ballers. You know what I mean? I don't
think La Liga is really known for having rash players, to be fair. I mean, there is some, don't get it twisted.
I think there's a good amount.
Usually known for what they do on the ball, and I guess the energy that they bring off the ball, right? But yeah, man.
Yeah, but off the ball, like when they wanna destroy players, they'll destroy. Bro, look at the amount of I don't know if the term is to use beef. Yeah, players have with one another.
Yeah, like Ramoses and stuff. I got you, man.
Yeah, bro. You know what I mean? Like there are players that want to be rash in La Liga, man. Maybe they bring that to other leagues, and other than the Prem, like it don't work out as much. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. You get what I'm saying? But you see, for example, Paulinho, right? Well, which we'll talk about Bayern in a bit. I wouldn't mind keeping him, unlike some Bayern fans, because I understand what you need in a squad, innit? Maybe Mark Roca could have been that guy. He didn't need to start, but you keep him in the squad. Who knows? You know what I mean? But they got rid of him, so it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
Salihamidzic wasn't really doing that. I mean, he brought in Sabitzer. That didn't even work out either.
nah,
Which
that
I
didn't
thought it
work.
would
Yeah,
work
that
out.
didn't go to
Like, I
plan.
thought
No.
that would work out because when he was at Leipzig, he was like one of the best midfielders. And I thought, bro, this
Yeah,
guy's
but Nagelsmann done a mad one because at Leipzig he was
Mhm.
playing him more advanced, didn't it? But
Right.
when he joined, but when they both were together at Bayern, he's playing him more deep. And that's because obviously at Bayern you're supposed to try to play 4-2-3-1 or whatever it is, isn't it? That's a DNA type thing. But you're not gonna be able to do that
Mhm.
at all. And the only reason why they did that, because obviously Thomas Muller, you're starting him in the 10. You're not gonna start Sabitzer in a 10 above Muller. So yeah, it was just one of them ones. He had to be sacrificed for the greater good of.
Yeah, it was an unnecessary signing in a way because you guys didn't really need
Yeah,
him.
yeah. It's just like,
Yeah.
I mean, no, listen, for a squad, it was not bad
It was
actually.
no for a squad. It
But
was.
in
I think
hindsight, it just didn't work out.
I just think you guys didn't need him. It's like one of those signings that you really didn't need, but you got him. It's like honestly, compare him to when we signed Cesc Fabregas. Like Cesc Fabregas was a top signing, top midfielder, one of the best midfielders in the world, right? But at the time, you had Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets. You were not going back to that midfield. You understand what I'm saying? So even though he was a great midfielder, bro, you're literally joining the best midfield in the world. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's literally the one midfield you can't break through.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying?
but by the way, funny enough, I'm about to say this in this show. Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
Sabitzer exposed himself in our game against each other in which we won 2-0. I swear down, bro. I swear down. That Sabitzer guy. I remember remember he was playing in the pivot. I don't know if you remember. He was playing in the pivot. Dembele spun him, bro. Man sent him back to Austria. No fucking joke, bro. When that happened, I swear to God, I wanted him out of my club. No joke. Because I'm like, you know what? If you can't even do in a big game, bro, what's the point of you being here? You know what I mean? It's just like,
That's actually crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
bro, Dembele, bro. Dembele, Pedri, every single one of them spun him, bro.
But the guy is actually like dribbling wise, bro. He can skin anybody, bro. I remember him. He absolutely. Who did he do? I think he did Carvajal or Marcelo, bro. Absolutely spun him, bro, like a Beyblade, bro. I will never forget that. It was one of the El Clasicos, like I think 2019, bro. This guy, the way he spun Marcelo, bro, right? I think Marcelo is still twisting to this day, bro. I'm telling you right now, man. And this was Marcelo when he was like one of the best fullbacks in the world, bro. So yeah, Dembele is that guy when it comes to dribbling. I would say
bro.
But,
if you can't do it in the big game,
I mean, yeah, but listen,
maybe bench. Bench is best for you, you know, like, but not starting. Like, yeah, I remember he was overhyped prior to that game, and I was like, bro,
yeah,
come on.
But listen, I do want to go to the buying section, right? Because we need to get into this. I don't know. I think I've texted Liam. I don't know if Liam is gonna. I don't think.
Yeah, he's asleep. Forget about him. This guy. Forget about him. That guy he's sleeping. Probably CM Punk gave him a go to sleep or something. I don't know what's going on with him, brother.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, listen. I need to ask you this, right? Obviously, we know the big news that's coming out. Like, there's some few things that come out of Bayern Munich, but the big one, obviously, is Thomas Muller, man. Like, you know, he's not been offered a new contract. He's gonna be leaving at the end of the season. Finally ending his what's that now? 30 years at the club? Over 30 years at the club?
So he started at the club. I mean, if we're talking from very young, yeah, probably.
That's what I'm saying. Like his whole
like
career.
Main roster, or as you call the main first team.
2008
or 9. 2008 or 9, yeah. So he's been around for time, bro.
No, that's what I'm saying. So he's been that's 17 years, like over 17 years.
We view Muller like how you viewed Messi.
No, that's the thing. Like, he was your Messi.
Yeah,
like, he's like the last one club man we've had in football.
Yeah, man.
He's like the last one. Like there's no more one club men now, right? And it's sad to me because I feel like, bro, this guy should never play for another club, man. it's just like one of those things. It's just going to be so weird seeing Muller play for another club, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Like some players are just connected to a club. Like you just know when you hear Thomas Muller, you know Bayern Munich. You understand what I'm saying, right? Like
Yeah.
for me, it's just like with Muller, he's like 36 now, I think, right? So
30, I think 35.
yeah, he's
35.
35, 36. He's gonna be 36 this year, I think, right? And look, I get it. At the end of the day, you gotta move on. But I just think, bro,
Yeah, he's
he's one of those
35. Yeah.
guys. The thing about Muller is, and this is what I actually do rate about Muller more than anything else, right? Muller is one of those players. He never complained. Like you never heard anything come out of Muller. Like, everybody in the Bayern Munich team, I'm sure, had have complained here and there. Muller is one of the few guys, bro. Ever since he's been at Bayern, they've played him everywhere. He's been at the wing. He's been in the attacking midfield. He's been as a striker. He's been as a center midfielder.
Oh, yeah,
You understand what I'm saying, right? And he always does the job everywhere he's been called upon to step up. He never, ever complains about anything. Bro, I'm telling you, because I watch football. You know me, bro. I watch Bundesliga. I've been watching Bundesliga way before I knew you. Like, since the early 2010s. You understand what I'm saying, right? So I know what I'm saying. I remember all the positions that Muller played. If you actually guys watch early FIFA, you guys will notice that FIFA...
He was known as the right winger.
12, 13, 14, like all of those, Muller was in different positions in every single one of these FIFAs.
I remember he was taking up spots for, like, if Robin was injured, he'd play on the right or something.
He'd play on the right. And then, what's his name?
He was basically our Valverde, for those who don't understand.
Exactly, but, well,
but in the attacking phase,
for me, Muller is Muller, bro. You don't compare Muller to anybody. I think
Muller but you know what I mean. Like,
no, I know you're breaking it down for like the younger people who may not understand, right? But for me, Muller is one of those guys, right? He was always happy to do a job wherever he was called upon, and he not only did the job, bro. He did the job at his best. When he played for both club and country, he turned up. This guy, I think he's like a few goals away from breaking Miroslav Klose's record in the World Cup.
Yeah. So he scored 5. Saying, right? He has, I think, 10 World Cup goals.
I think he has 9 goals, if I'm not mistaken. So he's like...
No, 10. He scored 5 and 10 and
so he's like
14.
So that means he's like 4 goals away from breaking the record. You understand what I'm saying? Which is sad.
Yeah.
Which is very, very sad because...
He could have done it, to be fair.
Yeah, and the thing is, like I mentioned, right, so many players have come and left Bayern Munich, right? He's always been the consistent one there. Like, think about this guy. Think about it this way, right? This man has played with guys like Philipp Lahm, Bastian Schweinsteiger, right? What's his name?
Philipp Lahm, Bastian Schweinsteiger.
He's played with Van Bommel, Van Buiten. He's played with Thiago. He's played with now Gnabry, Goretzka, Kimmich. Like, he's been managed under Pep, Jupp Heynckes, Louis van Gaal. I think Louis van Gaal was actually the one who gave him...
Yeah, Louis van Gaal was the one that brought him in, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? So this guy has seen so many errors of, like, Bayern Munich. I always say there's certain footballers, bro, you got to give them that respect as a club. You understand what I'm saying, right? Because you understand, bro, he's been here through the thick and thin. I'm not saying give him a 5-year, 10-year contract, bro. But at least give him a year contract. Tell him, listen, man, at the end of the day, we can only offer you a year. And the next year, if you want to retire, then retire. And then we'll bring you to the board. Or, you want to leave next season, then you can leave. It's just that the way they kind of handled this was just disgusting to me. You know why? Because they waited till now, until around the end of the season to be like, oh, yeah, we're not offering you a new contract.
No, but there's more into it, There's more into it. So here's it.
You go ahead.
So they've been having conversations for time. And it's from, I think, around January, they were like, probably not going to give it. But apparently, I think now that the news is out, I think they're having different conversations to see if there is anything that they can do. But, bro, even then, like, this, I'm going to give you my view from a Bayern fan point of view, right? These guys, and let's not lie, yeah? We are not broke. We're not broke, but they act like we're broke. Yeah. This is the thing that pisses me off the most, right? And you mean to tell me we don't have scrubs that we can get rid of so you can free up your wage, even if you had barely any money?
Bro, name the scrubs, bro, please.
Gnabry, Zane, Coman. I know Goretzka's doing good, but I've said that he's probably just playing for the contract, so I'll include his name into the list. I don't know why Opa's getting extension, but hey, it is what it is. He is performing, to be fair.
Don't do that. You might just pop in here, man.
I don't, you think I give a damn? Listen, bro, there's going to come a time Bozo moment happens and he'll be called out as well. So, hey, it is what it is, bro. I don't care if you're my buddy, bro. I say this to Liam every time. I say, you're included in this. He's not. Bro, I don't care, bro. Yeah? So, yes, it's probably him. Dyer's not get paid a lot, to be fair. Because you're saying about guys that get paid a lot. Neuer gets paid a lot. Kimmich paid a lot. Musiala just got paid a lot. But he's not some of these are not like scrub, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm naming you players as getting paid a lot. Oh, Leroy fucking Sané. Yeah? You're telling me you can't get rid of them to free up something for Thomas Muller? And by the way, I know people are going to complain the same way that they kind of complained about Trent, but in reverse. Yeah, one club man, yada, yada, yada. No, for me, again, I keep the same energy. Oh, Harry Kane, yes, another one. But Kane is not, he's our world-class signing. I'm not going to be that disingenuous. But here's my thing, right? And maybe this is the bit where I sound a bit disingenuous, but it's deservedly so. So, you basically...
100K!
Oh, yeah, but Harry Kane, yeah, he's our highest-paid player alongside Musiala now.
What? Yo, he's getting paid more than our highest, bro. That is even higher than our wage.
By the way, I don't think it's 600K. I think it's 480K.
It's got to be, bro. No, there's no way. Because if that was...
No. By the way, Bassam, you're wrong in this one. I think it's around 480K, nearly 500K.
Right. We're going.
But as I was saying, you're telling me that we could not be doing with a leader that leads by example. Yeah, I've said this on my stream the other day when I was talking about him. Manuel Neuer may be captain, but the way he be getting injured, I don't know if you want to say he's a leader like that. He's underrated leader, don't get it twisted, but Muller's more of a leader than him, in my opinion. Joshua Kimmich, a lot more to be proving for him to be a leader. Goretzka, same thing. Dyer, I hear he's leading in the dressing room, but his performances tell me otherwise at times, and at times don't. To be fair, he cares, but still, not enough. Yeah, I'm giving you players that could contend for it. But are they all genuine leaders? No, they're not. So what you do, you keep the best one. Who's the best one? Thomas Muller. That's my perspective. People come and go, bro. The guy could be linked to Madrid. Maybe he'll want to stay because he's Thomas Muller. But the point I'm trying to tell you is anybody could be linked to Madrid, they'll go. We talked about this about Trent literally on my own show earlier, right? Mm-hmm. So my main thing is not even about the fact that, one club man, people come and go. We've seen this before. Yeah, I had Lothar Matthäus when Bayern was in the shits go to Inter Milan, bro. You know about that, Omar?
Oh, of course I do. I know.
Yeah, you know about that.
He left,
and then he came back.
He came back,
and he still got called out after losing the final to Man United.
Yep. Yeah,
because he done it with Inter Milan. Yeah, so people come and go.
When you guys were in the mud.
He has known as a don at this club.
Yep.
So the point I'm trying to say is it's not about being a one club man. Yeah, don't get it twisted. I would love for Thomas Muller to be a one club man. Trust me. I wish he retires if he's not given a contract. But if he goes to the MLS, it is what it is. You know, you have Lionel Messi. The guy went to PSG. Now he's in Inter Miami. It is what it is, unfortunately, man. You know what I mean? I don't want to put it too much into like a one club thing. My thing is leader, bro. Look at the bigger picture. Leader, man. Who do we have that genuinely leads? And you know one thing I love about Thomas Muller? Yeah? Genuinely speaking, this guy knows when to mess around and he knows when to be serious. Bro, you guys want the most recent example? The guy, you see him, he posts videos, you know, when we get Barcelona. We get Barcelona. For Arsenal, Kai Havertz, see you there.
Yeah. I remember when we played you guys, he did like the Lewandowski. It's like, Lewandowski, we're coming.
Yeah, we're coming. Yeah. No, but
it's all in good fun. It's all in good fun.
But here's the thing: we lose to Leverkusen. That interview hits like crack.
I think
Yeah.
I've seen that interview. I think I've
That
seen that.
interview, he was scrapping on every single player and the manager, bro. And I was here
Yeah,
for it.
was it the one that you guys lost in the Cup Pokal? The 1-0?
No, we lost
Oh.
3-0 in the league.
In the league. Oh, that was last season. That's true. And I remember he was like,
Bro,
I remember he was starting in
absolutely.
German, and I could tell,
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
mad.
bro. The translation was basically saying that we're not playing as a team. We're not doing anything right. Bro, the point is, man calls out players and managers when he needs to, bro. He don't care. Bro, there was a game we played this season. I'm not even joking. Yeah, bro. You know Lewis, who's a part of our thing, Bayern fan as well.
Yeah, Luis
Yeah,
Alvarado. Yeah.
Alvarado. Yeah, bro. Man gave him once a 10 out of 10 just for calling out the players for bitch.
Hell yeah, man. This is why. You know what's funny?
Bro,
This
is mentality we're talking about, bro.
He should have been captain over Neuer and all these guys, because it takes a leader to actually says the things that need to be said.
To be fair, Neuer does do that. The only problem with Neuer, sometimes he doesn't act. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
the whole celebrating getting injured, that's crazy, you know? Neuer does chat like in defense, when you like try to lead a back, he actually does do that. He does shout at the players when we can see chances, this, yada, yada, yada. But it's just that with Thomas Muller, it's like his actions actually align more than with Neuer. That's the difference.
Right.
But yeah, listen, the whole point of the matter is, bro, my whole thing, who's really leading if it's not him or Neuer? Genuinely. You know what I mean? And I mean genuine leader. I'm not talking just, I'll speak. Listen, guys, we need to do this. Okay, that's one leading. Now I'm talking upper echelon now. You know what I mean? The guys that's been doing this for time. Guys been winning for time. This, yada, yada. Bro, like the closest thing we have to them two is Kimmich, probably. But even then, Kimmich, we talked about him earlier this season. What did he do? He played in midfield, performed bad. But then again, he's also improving this season towards the end. So fair enough, right? And it's not just like after he's, before he signed the deals, even after he signed the deal. So, hey, fair enough. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's just, bro, listen, I just feel like the club is just moving fraudulent, man. Genuinely speaking, I feel like with all the players that you want to get rid of and all the players that you could be getting, bro, Vincent Kompany is scouting all over Europe. I don't know if you noticed. He's scouting all over Europe. The guy went to the PSG Marseille game because he was scouting on Barcola. Whether you rate him or don't, a different discussion. He's scouting so you can get players for cheap. It don't matter. You know what I mean? If you're scouting everywhere, you should be able to get players for cheap, whatever. If you go through, like you said before, if you look through our league, you can get players for cheap. Hey, I'll give you a name on the wing. Furish. You can get him for cheap. Nobody's really looking at him other than us. Stuttgart.
Oh, where? Is it?
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no excuses, bro. You know what I mean?
And the funny thing is, that's what you when you guys were at your best, that's what you guys were good at. You were good at seeing the talents in your league, the talents that maybe not everyone in Europe has seen yet. But you're like, yeah, that guy, he's gonna be the real deal. He's gonna be the guy. Sign him now. Sign him next season. 30 million, something like that. Just go and sign him. And then when he does well, everyone's like, oh wow, Bayern Munich, bro, where did they get this player? No, he was in the Bundesliga the whole time. No, you know if you just noticed. And that's the thing. But you know what's funny? You guys ran away from your philosophy. That's your problem, is here. You ran away from what made you guys great. And it's and that's why I said it's such like your destruction, the destruction of your club today is self-imposed. It's like very similar to ours. You understand what I'm saying, right? If you look at the reason why we self-destructed back in the pandemic is because at the end of the day, we were making a lot of stupid deals, which as Barca fans, I was actually one of the people who was calling this out when we were winning. When we were still in the Champions League, one of the best teams in Europe and everything else, I was still saying, yo, we're going to decline very, very soon. And it's going to be because of these guys, because they can manage to save their lives, right? The ownership, right? They've run away from what made us great. You understand what I'm saying, right? And now they're trying to do the Galacticos thing, which has never worked out for us, right? Like, if it didn't work out for Real Madrid, why is it going to work out for us? Trying to sign, like you lose Neymar to PSG, so you think, oh, we need an MSN replacement, so we need to go and buy a world-class striker who can play out in the wing so that he can complement Messi and Suarez. Who do we sign? Dembele. All right, Dembele, he's not ready. All right, cool. Oh, Antoine Griezmann, he's one of the best strikers in the world. Everybody talks about how about we have a Messi, Suarez, and Griezmann? That would be great by name. But he's not what we needed because he can't play on the left. He's a right winger or
Yeah, yeah, but
as center forward. But
yeah.
all of that we spent. Coutinho thing. We didn't need Coutinho. We didn't need Coutinho. Like I was saying when he was balling out at Liverpool, keep balling out at Liverpool. Keep him away from my club because he's not going to play. Where is he going to play? Because
I'm
every
not
position
gonna
he
lie.
plays is where Messi plays. So where are you going to play him?
I would have kept him if he wasn't worth 120 million.
Bro, I literally came out and I said, why are we going after Coutinho? We don't need the guy. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, by the way, thank you for Coutinho, though. I mean, he done a.
But that's
He
that
done
point.
a
But you see this thing. He made sense. But this is the thing, Zir. He made sense to come to you because you guys actually play at 10. So he would have come in and played in the 10 role and could have done the job.
when Flick came in, Muller took his spot.
But that's the thing. Muller came in, but this is the thing. Muller wasn't really nobody expected Muller to just take over the number 10 spot and do as well as he did. That's why you guys bought Coutinho.
Yeah, but you know what? We bring this up. Can I just say that there was a time in which Muller was complaining. He was actually close to joining Man United.
But he wasn't going to leave, man. I'm sure he was.
No. You say that, but bro, I think that was the closest to have him leaving Bayern. I'll be really honest.
That's the closest.
It was when we had Niko Kovac and he was barely playing him, and at the time Muller was good enough to play. That's the difference maker compared to nowadays. Nowadays, Muller understands. His legs is gone, yada, yada. Muller understands. But back then, and even then, I couldn't even blame Thomas Muller for doing what he did because you have to understand, when you're not getting minutes, yeah, because because this manager thinks he knows what he's doing when he knows fuck all. Yeah, like, you're obviously going to want to go, you know? And he was close to going, but we just sacked Niko Kovac.
Yeah, yeah, I think I remember now.
Yeah, it was linked to Man United heavily. It was a heavy link for January.
And then you guys said, I think you guys lost 5-1 to Frankfurt, and then he was.
Yeah, and that was like the final straw that broke the camel's back.
I will never forget that game because I watched it, right? And when you guys lost 5-1, I remember that Alaba was talking to like the fans because the fans were actually angry, and Alaba like walked up to like the stands to speak to the fans.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The thing is, at the end of the day, I mentioned it, right? Some things are self-inflicted, right? I even think that this Muller thing is going to end up backfiring on you because he's one of the last actual leaders you guys have. You understand what I'm saying? And if you lose him, you're going to lose something very, very important in your team. But yeah, big up to you, Mark, man. He says, the Coutinho signing was forced by Barcelona. Thank you. Every Barca fan, most Barca fans agreed we didn't need Coutinho. But the funny thing is, I say most Barca fans, but a lot of Barca fans were not actually saying it as it is. A lot of these fans were just sitting there drinking the Kool-Aid, sitting there saying, "Oh, but Neymar wanted Coutinho." All right, yeah, Neymar is not at the club anymore. Why are we signing Coutinho then? We're still insisting on bringing this guy. I'm like, bro, keep this guy away from we don't need him. I'm not saying he's not a great player. We don't need him. Where is he gonna play? We don't play at number 10 at Barcelona. We play a 4-3-3 formation. 2 number 8s. He doesn't play as an 8. He can't play on the right because that's where Messi plays. So where are you gonna play this guy? But when we brought this guy and he had a great start and everybody was drinking the Kool-Aid, what happened to him the next season? Completely fall off. Why? Because we already had Dembele in the team who was doing well. We had Messi who was doing well. We had Suarez who was doing well. And he couldn't play in the number 8. That's why we were playing Rakitic and Vidal and all these guys in the midfield. Right? And Coutinho lost his place. And this is what I mean. At the end of the day, that was what for me embodied the Bartomeu era, bro. We didn't sign players who fit what we were trying to build. They didn't fit the system that Barcelona were doing. Griezmann was not a Barca player. Anyone could have told you that. I remember when this guy was being linked, I was like, bro, why are we being linked with Griezmann? I like Griezmann. I'm actually a big fan of Griezmann. But brother, he doesn't fit. Where is he gonna play? We don't have we don't play. He can't play as a striker like Suarez. That's not the kind of player that he is. Right? He can't play out in the right because guess what? That's where Messi plays. Like, this is the thing. But the funny thing is, a lot of people who watch from the outside would always say the same thing to me, which is, oh yeah, when these players come at Barcelona, they all have to play backfield to Messi. Well, no shit. At the end of the day,
that's the problem. Why are you signing him? Like,
no, but that's the point. At the end of the day, This is why you have to buy players who are happy to play confident to Messi. You see someone like Suarez. Suarez and Messi, their dynamic worked. Because you know why? Because Suarez was a number 9. He wasn't trying to do the Messi thing. He wasn't trying to be the Messi region at Barcelona. You understand what I'm saying? He was just the goal scorer. He understood that, okay, I'm just going to be in the right positions, and I know Messi will do his thing and give me the ball.
Yeah,
right?
To be fair, he was creating for Messi and Neymar too.
But that's the thing. But that's the thing, bro. It worked. But this is my point, bro. They were not clashing because they didn't do a similar job. You understand what I'm saying? Suarez might have been a striker. Yes, Suarez found Messi. Messi found Suarez. But Suarez was the striker. That's what he was. Number 1. You understand what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, Griezmann, when he was playing for Atletico de Madrid, wasn't just a striker. He was a center forward who got goals and assists for both club and country. That was the kind of player that he was. He was playing the Messi role at Atleti. He was playing the Messi role at France. He could never do that at Barcelona. But guess what? Funny thing is, this is what I'm telling you. I'm like, bro, if I was doing content back in those days, bro, I would have looked like a genius the amount of times I would have been predicting these flops. Because I was predicting these flops before they even came to my club. Before they even came to my club, I was calling this guy. I was like, bro, this guy's going to flop. That guy's going to flop. He's going to flop. He's going to flop. And they all flopped. And everyone's like, at the end of the day, this is my point, man. This is why at the end of the day, I've always said it's an absolute joke and an absolute disgrace. But big up to every one of you guys who's here, man. We got over 20 people watching. Make sure you guys smash the likes. Get the likes up, man. Big up to you guys. Big up to you guys. But listen, Zir, I do want to get into something else, right? Obviously, I'm sure you've seen my video, I don't know, yesterday, where I was talking about Barcelona. And here's the thing. Just like we were talking about with, Bartomeu and everything else with that, right? All that money that they spent over 90 million on Dembele, 118 on what's his name? Coutinho, right? 120 on Griezmann. That's over 400 million right there on 3 players that we didn't need. Or maybe Dembele. I hear the Dembele thing a little bit because Dembele was actually a player who I thought, all right, cool. He's a winger. We needed a winger, so we signed him. You understand what I'm saying, right? Even though Mbappe was available and you could have gone in for Mbappe, which would have made much more sense. But hey, what do I know? My point, but my point still stands. At the end of the day, Barcelona didn't need Coutinho and we didn't need them. And those guys cost us because when the pandemic hit, we were hit very hard. And as a result, we're still paying for that 5 years later, right? Because here's the thing that's just come out recently. And here's the thing, bro. I have my opinions on these things, but apparently you've seen that like the whole Omo thing, because I know you remember earlier in the year when we registered that Omo
registration issue, yeah.
Exactly. And then we managed to register him. Well, here's the thing. La Liga and Javier Tebas, I've always said this. Javier Tebas is like Drake, Zir. Javier Tebas is literally the Spanish Drake. That's what he is. He can't take a L. He just can't take the fact that he made a decision and basically people above him overruled it and he can't take the L. You understand what I'm saying? Like he can't accept the fact that, he didn't win. Like we somehow won. We found a way we found a loophole in the rules and we exploited it and we ended up bringing in this guy, right? And for months, his guy has been working hard to screw us over. And then finally, it seemed like he finally succeeded because recently, Barcelona went and we went out and submitted another form, financial form, and basically apparently this one didn't actually. The VIP seats that we sold in January, which basically was the reason why we signed Dani Olmo, wasn't added to it. And as a result, Barcelona decided, La Liga decided to void our salary, right? They decided to void it and basically cut our salary cap, which they did increase because of the VIP thing, right? And for me, and this is the funny thing, right? La Liga thought they won. Javier Tebas, I'm sure, was sitting there with the biggest grin in his face. Well, here's the thing, bro, and this is the update that's come out recently, is that apparently the courts, and big up to Catalan in the chat, he even said it, the courts have told Tebas and La Liga that Dani Olmo and Pau Victor will be registered for the rest of the season. And now, Now, because the whole idea of why the La Liga were doing this whole thing was because they wanted Dani Olmo and Pau Victor to be unregistered immediately, right? Now La Liga, now the courts have said, nah, they're going to stick around for the rest of the season because the season is almost over. Now, Tebas now can't take that L now. Now, guess what he's doing? Now he's actually going to go to the courts and actually appeal the fact that they're deciding to keep this thing for the rest of the season. Like, this is why, do you guys see now why I call this guy Drake? This is not about the rules anymore. Because he's technically succeeded, right? They've cut our salary, right? But that's not enough because that's not what this is about. You understand what I'm saying? This is about the fact that we found a way to register the players that he told us we would not be able to register. You understand what I'm saying? When he said there's no chance in hell that these guys are going to be registered, we found a way to register them and he can't take it. So now he's trying everything. Even though he's won, he's still saying, I'm not satisfied. I'm not going to rest until we unregister these guys because that's the only way because I need to win. So this is not about rules anymore. This is about his ego. This guy can't accept the fact that we basically found a way to outsmart him. And it's an absolute disgrace. But let me ask you this, because you're a Bayern fan, right? Imagine this was happening in your league. What would you do, bro?
I'd be livid. But you know what? One thing I'll give Bundesliga a lot of credit for is like they don't do many of these dumb BS over there. Like they are actually in the Bundesliga. What they usually do is they allow 51% of share for the fans, innit? So because of that, it's like pretty even spread out. Obviously, you can have more than 51%. I mean, Bayern München, for example, is like 75.
Right.
Believe it or not. And then the rest is like Allianz, Adidas, yada, 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 you know? But, yeah, man, the whole point I was trying to say is the fact that they do that, it actually prevents all these problems that you have in La Liga. You know what I mean? Because, by the way, German fans, one thing I'll give them credit for is they're very critical when it comes to how clubs are being run. That's not in the footballing. Even Bayern fans are like this. When it comes to like non-footballing related decisions, like financial decisions, they're usually on their necks. That's why Bayern München, and I call out the fact that they have money, bro. You know what I mean? Because I know the Bayern fans will call out. I just wish they call out the footballing decisions more. But with you guys, like, back to your thing. I'm not gonna lie, man. You see all this story you're talking about? Bro, lie just sums up with one reason. One reason. And it's proven, by the way. Listen, you know what I think of Barcelona, but bro, this guy is an undercover Madridista.
Bro, he's a Madrid fan that's never hidden it. He's literally said he supports that club. And here's the thing. I'm not going to say Madrid are the ones that are paying him to do this. I don't think Madrid are involved in this. I think that it's the fan.
Oh, no, it's just him. It's just him.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think it's the fan in him that just wants to just screw us over. You understand what I'm saying? Right? Because even Madrid, to be fair, Perez and all those guys, they don't like him, bro. They don't like him either. Right? They think this guy he's arrogant, he's so self-absorbed, he's always trying to be in the spotlight. You understand what I'm saying, right? And it's true, bro, because if you look at the way he doesn't move like other league presidents. I've said it before. Do you know who the Bundesliga president is? I don't know who he is. I've never seen him.
I'm not even going to lie. I don't know. But you know what? Now I'm intrigued, so I'm going to search.
That's the funny thing. I don't know who the Premier League president is. I don't know who the Serie A president. I don't know who these presidents are. But everybody knows who Javier Tebas is. How is it possible that La Liga is the only league where our president is more famous than any other person in the league? It tells you everything, bro. This brother loves being in the spotlight. He enjoys it, bro. Every time he's on this, bro. Sometimes you know how I knew this. Honestly, you know how I knew this, bro. It's when everything is fine between Barca and Madrid, right? No finances, none of that. He will still somehow, some way, talk about Barca. Like throughout the season, right? we did not talk about finances and everything. He just came out on the interview one day and just started talking about the fact that, oh yeah, Barcelona's finances, yeah, they're in a good place right now. They're improving and everything's going. I'm like, bro, why are you even bringing this up? Nobody was even asking about Barcelona's finances anymore, right? But it shows you, man, he needs to talk about either Barca or Madrid. You understand what I'm saying? It's an absolute joke. But look, at the end of the day, I'm not surprised anymore, bro. I've said it before. This guy, he's just one of these people, man. Like, they can't take an L to save their lives, bro. They can't just say, all right, cool. Well, the courts accepted your deal. All right, cool, fine. If the courts say so, then we will respect what the courts say. You understand what I'm saying, right? No. These guys are like, no. Doesn't matter that the courts, by the way, the courts are the higher ups. They said Barcelona this guy will stay registered. He could have respected the court's opinions. He said, no, I'm not respecting the court's opinions. I'm going to continue to fight until this guy doesn't play. That shows me everything, bro. Because at the end of the day, you expect everyone to follow the rules, but you are being given a rule, but you don't want to accept the rule that you've been given. You understand what I'm saying? And this idea, this bullshit that keeps going around everywhere, where people say, oh, but this guy, he's just trying to look out for the clubs in La Liga and all this bullshit. Give me a flipping break. Have you actually seen La Liga? No, Zir. Have you seen La Liga? Look at Valencia. You're too young to remember, but there was a time.
No, but I actually visited the Mestalla a few years back, so I know where you're going with it.
Look at that stadium. They were trying to build a stadium for years.
Bro,
right? That stadium that's stopped building now. Why? Because they don't have money anymore.
Yeah, by the way, I'll tell you something about Valencia, something I learned when I was there. Apparently, I don't think you guys will notice because when you watch football, you don't see these little things. But they have a specific statue of some fan who sat at that seat. This guy, if I'm not mistaken, he was a fan from way back, around the 50s, innit? And then he eventually passed away while watching Valencia play. And what happened was they realized that, so they decided, you know what, that seat is now vacant.
Yeah, it's
statue on that chair. Nobody can sit on it now. It's only for him. They even had his family members being invited all the time, whenever they please, all that stuff.
That's actually very honorable.
Yeah.
But yeah, John Williams.
That's what I learned in that experience. Also, apparently, they were given best club of 2004 when they didn't even win the Champions League because they won the Europa League.
Around that time, they were. You can't understand. People think. I always said it, man. You know how people view Atletico as the third best team in the league? Valencia were.
Well, we beat them in the final.
The third best team in the La Liga at the time, and they had a strong case to be called the best team in the league. Because guess what? They were not like Atletico, who are just second and third fiddle to Barcelona and Real Madrid. No, this team actually beat Barcelona and Real Madrid to league titles multiple times. I know people are going to say, yeah, so did Atletico. No, I mean not in 10 years where they won one league and then they won the second league 8 years later. No, I mean they won the league this season. They might have lost the next season, but they won it the season after. You understand what I'm saying? Right? They won the league, I think, in 97 or 98, right? And then they won back the league, I think, in 2001. When they played you guys in the Champions League final that season, right? I think they won the league in 2002, right? And then they won the league again in 2004. So they won 4 league titles. You understand what I'm saying? In that time, they did 2 Champions League finals. One against Madrid, right? And one against you guys. I know they lost both, but they won a Europa League in 2004. This was a big club, right? And this is the thing. At the end of the day, this whole finances BS that La Liga always tried to throw at people, well, where is that energy for clubs like Valencia? You let a club like Valencia, who were once a Champions League regular team, even in the past 7-8 years, right? We were in the Champions League, right? A regular team. You want to let that team get one of the worst owners in Spanish football, right? Basically, screw the club over. Basically, milk the club, get all the money that they can get out of the club. Never protected that club to the point now that they're fighting for relegation. And now the stadium that they had to move into, they basically can't move in there. Why? Because they don't have enough money. Why is that? But listen, John, let me actually, before I continue, let me answer to what John is saying. He says, let's be honest with ourselves, Omar. The truth is, Laporta has not been transparent enough. He has been making a lot of bad decisions. That's why Barcelona should put Laporta put Barcelona in this mess. John, I disagree. This is not Laporta's mess. Laporta joined this mess. Here's the thing with Barca fans, but we need to stop having short memories. This man walked into this. You understand what I'm saying? When he arrived,
I agree with him to a degree,
was in the mud.
Now I understand, but can I tell you where? Here's the thing with Laporta. There has been some shady things that he's been saying, bro.
And that's the thing. And I don't. Okay. So let me rephrase. I'm not saying that Laporta is perfect. Before people think that I'm just.
I'm just stating what it is, bro.
John, I'll tell you this, right? I've said this yesterday. If you saw my video where I talked about this, I said that at the end of the day, I need to know who is lying because somebody's lying here. And I'm not saying here and saying that, Laporta is innocent of all of this. Because here's the thing. The fact that the VIP seats was put in there in January and then was moved out 2 months later, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Why wasn't it there? You understand what I'm saying, right? Like, there's something not right about that. And that's why I even said during that stream where I was like, listen, somebody lying. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and say Laporta is innocent. So Laporta needs to figure this thing out because I'm not going to sit here and just say, oh, yeah, La Liga. I'm not going to be sitting there saying, oh, La Liga are all against us and all this. The reason I call out Tebas is because Tebas has been notorious for doing this for years now. You understand what I'm saying? Right? This is not just a Barca versus La Liga thing, bro. This has been happening for a while, right? For me, the reason I'm going at Tebas is because even though La Liga, even after everything he's done to us in the past 2 days, right, he still manages to want to do more, even though technically he's won. He's like, nah, I'm not done. I want this guy's registered now, even though the courts have said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep him registered for the rest of the season. They said no. And that for me is personal for me. I think that's more personal to me. With him doing that is personal because he's like, at the end of the day, I don't care, bro. I want these guys deregistered now. That's deep. For me, that has nothing to do with the rules anymore. He just wants that to happen for his own ego. You understand what I'm saying? And that is my point. That's how I look at it. Because you could have easily said, well, listen, if the courts say they can stay, they can stay registered, that's fine. As long as they're found this thing is void, it's still voided. You understand what I'm saying? But this is not about that. And that is what I want people to understand. You understand what I'm saying? But
yeah, I mean, in this argument, in this case, I mean, you're not wrong. I'm just saying, and I think he is as well. In general, Laporta has not been innocent himself.
No, of course. And
part of the reason why Messi left, by the way, was because he was not honest enough as well.
And that's the truth. And I've said it before, guys. That is one thing I've called out Laporta for. Laporta is. Now, let me be clear, John. I don't disagree with you when you say that he's not transparent. He's not transparent. Like, I agree. I think that Laporta sometimes he tries to sell us the Kool-Aid. See, this is the thing with me, bro. I'm a good judge of character. When somebody's trying to sell something to me, I can tell. You understand what I'm saying, right? When you keep doing the same thing over and over. See, two people can be wrong in this situation. You understand what I'm saying, right? Laporta is not a saint, but neither is Tebas. You understand what I'm saying? And I want people to understand that even if Laporta is gone, I don't think this guy's vendetta against our club is going to end. You understand what I'm saying? Because this has been around now for a while. And I want you guys to understand the reason I go at Tebas the way I do is because there are so many clubs that have declined in La Liga in the past 10 years, while this guy has been sitting around watching it happen. Right? Where's Malaga? Where's Deportivo? Look at teams like Sevilla, how much they're falling off. Right?
Oh, yeah. My friend told me a story about Sevilla because he's from there. Bro, it's crazy.
But that is my point. This guy is literally sitting here putting all this energy trying to screw my club over when you've got teams right now in the league who are currently struggling, who need his help. But he's focused on us. That's why I said to people, like, bro, this has nothing to do with the rules and La Liga and all that. Bro, this guy just has something against us because there's so many other clubs that need him. But he never actually he never talks about what's happening at Valencia. Never talks about what's happening at this. The fact that Valencia now have stopped the production of their stadium, he could have said something about that. He could have tried to help them, but he's done nothing of a sort. But he's busy dealing with us, even though we are good. We are currently doing well in our competitions. He just says, no, we want these two players deregistered now. So he's focused on all that. He's not worried about all of these things. And that's why I keep telling people, I'm like, bro, this Tebas guy, he doesn't give a fuck about the league. All you people that are thinking that this is about the league, it doesn't matter. This guy doesn't care about anybody else in the league. He only cares about the elites, the ones that make the money. Why does he keep talking about us? Because he knows people are going to listen, because he's talking about Barcelona. If he talks about Valencia, you think anybody's going to listen if he starts talking about Valencia's problems? No, because that's not what this is about. But that's the thing, man. And listen, like I mentioned, I am not, when it comes to this situation, I still keep watching. I've said it before. When it comes to Laporta, I am not a big supporter and I'm not a big hater. You understand what I'm saying? I understand the guy, he walked into this mess. And I give him that, you have to do what you got to do to help the club go back to where they need to be. Okay, I get it. I'm not dumb, right? However, when you're not being transparent, I'm gonna call it out. If I feel like you're being shady or you're doing things, like this, I'm gonna be like, I see you, man, and I don't like that. You understand what I'm saying? I'll be the first to call it out. But it's truly disgusting, man. And I said it before. There's no league in the world that does this to a club, bro. There's no league in the world that does this, bro.
Yeah, the whole Liga was pathetic, if you ask me, bro.
And that's why when people call this league, like, people call this league
all the,
it's
yeah, you know what? The problems you go through in La Liga, I actually think is why Bundesliga is run the way it is. Just like that, you know what I mean? So I feel like with your league, it's like the power is all on like the what you call it,
top.
The people in the top. Like there's no like control. Like you see, for example, you were asking about Germany. I just done my research. So what happens with our league? DFL is in control of the Bundesliga, and then you have Lanz, who's the CEO of that organization. But they've implemented this rule, 50+1 rule, and this basically, as I mentioned earlier, for those who just pulled up in here, basically everybody has at least 51% of fans. Percentage, of course, right? And then if you want to have more, that's your prerogative. But the main thing is fans have more majority of the say in assemblies and everything like that. Yeah. And then also, not many people talk about this. In each club, even in our club, you have a supervisory board on top of the board. And the supervisory
board, I've heard of that.
Yeah, you could never get, like for in our case, Uli Hoeneß, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, you can never get rid of these guys. They would have to resign for you to get rid of them. You can't get rid of them. But one thing for sure, when it comes to how the culture is, you make one mistake, bro. Oh my, bro, they're gonna call you out, bro. Yeah. Now I'm not gonna lie. Some of a good portion of the culture that they have, I'm not really with. However, it's their prerogative. It's their country. It is what it is. I'd be disingenuous to, even like say that they have to be there. You know what I mean? But maybe the fans, there's one criticism I have. The same energy that you put into the clubs in that, maybe you can put it into the footballing decision making. Maybe then the teams would be better. But that's my only thing, right? But with you guys, it's like, wow. Tebas and whoever's in the boardroom in the La Liga, they have more of a say than your fans.
Bro, that's the thing. There is
it's ridiculous.
I promise you, brother, Habibi, I promise you. There is no, like, you know what this is? This is run like the government here in my nation, bro. Like everything runs through them, bro. There's no free speech or freedom of speech, even though they try to tell you that there is. You understand what I'm saying, right? That's the same thing with leagues, bro. These guys, they want all the power, they want all the money, they want everything. This is why when the whole Super League thing happened, these guys were so quick to all jump around and make it seem like this is about football, it's ruining football and all this BS. Yeah, I get it. The Super League was a bad idea the way they built it up. But I've said this about the Super League. I've always said the thing with the Super League is the way it was formatted, it only protected big clubs, and that's why I feel like a lot of these clubs didn't like that. A lot of these fans didn't like that. If this protected all clubs, bro, I'm telling you now, bro, these guys would have been screwed. You understand what I'm saying? Right? But here's the thing. At the end of the day, Tebas, he does all of these things talking about the best of the club. This guy is best friends with Bartomeu. When Bartomeu, like, think about this for 1 second here. At Barcelona, in the past 10 years, we've had a president who's been sent to prison while he was in charge of Barcelona. Sandro Rosell was found guilty by the courts and sent to prison because of fictitious exploitations at Barcelona back in 2014. Right? When that situation happened, where was Tebas? Tebas was still the president. He never said a word. Right? What about when Bartomeu was sitting around spending 100 million after 100 million after 100 million after 100 million after 100 million every single season? I never heard this guy ever say anything. Why? Because that's his friend. Everybody knows Tebas and Bartomeu are friends. That's his boy. You understand what I'm saying? He literally, look at this. Look up to NJ here. He says, yeah, he called him a great president. Right? He said he ran the finances well. Bro, are you fucking smoking crack?
He's on some sabotage, bro. That guy's on some sabotage, bro.
But this is my point. So this is why people tell me there's no vendetta. Bro, look at this. Everybody who's a football fan who knows anything about Barcelona and knows anything about Bartomeu knows that everything that's happening at my club now is because of that guy. For now. And this is the funny thing, right? We see when this whole Negra case came out, which, by the way, didn't happen when Laporta was around. This guy had the audacity to come out and ask Laporta to resign, bro. Even though this is not even... Bro, the thing that we've been accused of, but Laporta wasn't even in charge, bro. Right?
Okay, yeah, this detail I don't know. I can't lie, even though I want to call it out.
But this is the thing. This is the thing that Will always holds on me, right? The case, right? But he's sitting there telling Laporta, a president that knew nothing about this, right? Who wasn't involved, because I think the case that they're asking on is when, I think right after he resigned, right? So Rosell was in charge, I think, right? So he's sitting here talking about something that Laporta wasn't even involved in. But he's telling Laporta to resign. This is why I'm telling people, bro. They're not even hiding it, bro. You gotta be someone who's so out of touch to not see what is happening here. This is clearly a vendetta against Laporta, who, by the way, we know they don't like each other, right? But this is the funny thing. Because when we had our financial situation, there was nothing to say that we couldn't resign players, we couldn't offer contracts, we couldn't do any of these things, right? In 2020, after the championship, when we lost to you guys, right? And we got rid of half of our squad. When Bartomeu resigned, he literally gave Stegen, Langley, and all of our players a new contract. I thought we were broke to give players new contracts, right? And then the moment Laporta stepped foot in the job, bro, Tebas started talking. I promise you guys, go back and check. Before that, Tebas never spoke about financial situation or how we were going to have a salary cut or how we were going to have to get rid of players to bring it back. He never said anything before Laporta came in. The moment Laporta came in, this guy could not shut up about my club.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
Bro. Yeah, it's crazy.
But that's my point. Because this whole financial situation has started before Laporta became president. But all of a sudden, if you're somebody that knows nothing about this, you will think this all happened while back Laporta was in charge.
Yeah, but you know what I think? You know why I think that's the case? Because obviously the Chelsea v Barcelona incident happened, and at the time I think he was president. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. But I think that's why it's a whole misconception, if that's the case.
And also, this is another point. Thank you, AK. In 2020, this fraud tried to make the league sign a deal with a sponsorship deal with a club which was going to own 50% of every club in the league, right? Both Barca, Madrid said, hell no. The rest of the league accepted it because they were all going to get hell amounts of money from it, right? And so would Barcelona and Real Madrid, right? Guess what? Barcelona and Real Madrid looked at it and said, wait a minute, this thing looks very shady. Why are we selling our club, half of our assets away for 50% for 50 years? What the hell? You understand what I'm saying? It makes no sense. Do you know what happened when we refused to sign that contract, Zir? This was right before the end of the season. Barca and Real Madrid were the only two clubs that refused to sign. Right? When Barca and Real Madrid refused to sign, guess what? The moment we said we were not going to sign the contract, but Tebas came out and said Barcelona, we could not resign Messi. Before that, this fraud never once said to us that the chances of us resigning Messi was low. Do you remember, Zir? Because you remember, bro, nobody was sitting around saying that Messi was going to leave Barca because there was never any inkling that Messi could potentially leave for free. You understand what I'm saying? Because it was never put in the air. Nobody put it in the air that it could happen. All of a sudden, they just threw it to everyone's face. Oh, God, Messi actually didn't sign a new contract because La Liga refused. Why did La Liga refuse? Nobody knew. Everyone was like, well, why is Messi not signing a new contract? This is the reason why. This is the reason why. Because at the end of the day, we refused to sign that deal. And Tebas said, you're not going to sign it? Well, you're not going to resign Messi because you have a salary cut. And signing this contract will actually help you resign Messi. But Laporta even said it. He said, bro, if I had signed that contract, I would have been able to resign Messi. But I would have sold the club's soul away for 50 years, which would have put the club in more financial situation for years to come.
I don't think Messi would have wanted that, to be fair.
But that is my point. So Laporta was put with a rock and a hard place, so he had to make the decision. That's why it hurt everybody, right? And I'm not sitting here saying that, and I get it. I think that the way he handled it with Messi was a little bit, he could have handled it better. You understand what I'm saying? Especially
I think without transparency with Messi and the fans, but like
that's what I'm saying, right?
It was one of those.
Wasn't right, but still, it wasn't like La Liga gave him a choice, really. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the thing. This deal that he wanted us to sign, bro, because Barca and Madrid didn't sign the deal, because all the clubs in La Liga had to sign it for the deal to happen. You understand what I'm saying? So since Barca and Barcelona and Real Madrid refused to sign, the deal was basically cancelled. Zir, a year after this thing, right? It came out that this deal was a scam.
Wow.
Can you imagine, Zir, if we had signed that deal, if La Liga signed, bro, the league would have been done. Forget about Barcelona. Everybody in this league would have been screwed. Even Real Madrid. But we're the only two teams that knew that something wasn't right about this deal.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. Nobody ever calls out Tebas for this. It's funny because he's never, bro, ever since this thing came out that this was a scam, this guy tried so hard to put this under the rug. He never mentions it. Never. He's never mentioned this deal ever again, bro. Because it's one of the black marks in his career. Fucking disgrace, man. Let me read some of you guys, man. Yeah, he's a nosy guy, man. Big up. Listen, guys, make sure you guys smash the likes. We got 20 people in here, man. Big up to all you guys who are here, man. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream, man. But yeah, I'm going to read some of these chats and then we're going to go to our final discussion on Bayern Munich. But since Tebas is really corrupt, he really wants to destabilize Barcelona because his team are doing well. Bro, but guess what, bro? If we say it, we're just haters. Like, bro, I can literally sit. You know what's funny is here? You know how I'm sitting here talking, right? I can literally bring. You know how Northside sometimes when he does streams where he's calling people out for where Arsenal fans are coming out and saying some of the stupidest stuff, and he's like keeping receipts of what people are saying. Bro, I literally have receipts. I can literally go right now, Zia, right, and go and just type this and put like all the things that this guy has done and just make a stream about it, bro. Where he's literally been against this guy, right? You see, when this whole Negra thing started at first, right? He said we were innocent. But then when the whole thing with Danny Olmo came out, he said we were guilty then. I'm like, bro, what happened since? I thought earlier in the season you were telling us that we were innocent. This guy's a hypocrite, bro. I'm telling you guys.
No.
It's an absolute... Nah, man. It's a disgrace. He says, no. Because he hates Spanish clubs. Because in 2012, when Villarreal got relegated, most of the Spanish teams... there you go. Villarreal, Malaga, Deportivo. Bro, I could literally be here all day, man. But I do want to move on because at the end of the day, we do want to talk about it on their rules and bro, these rules and regulations that these guys have. Look at this. Look at what Start Making Sense is saying here. The reason why Tebas is behaving like this is because he hates Spanish clubs. Because in 2012, Villarreal got relegated, and most of the Spanish were about to go bankrupt in the Spanish government with bank loans and all that. Okay, let me
Why
ask you
is
this.
he leading, what?
Let me ask you this, start making sense. Well, who was the president of La Liga when all that was happening?
Tebas, no?
Because, well, who was the president? Wasn't it him? Wasn't he the one in charge? Because he's been there for, I think, since the early mid 2000s.
Mental.
And the funny thing is, you talk about Villarreal, and also that deal. You're right about that deal. But the funny thing is, right? Since then, right? All of these things have been happening, bro. Look at clubs like Malaga. Look at what happened to Malaga. Malaga was another example. They had Qatari owners who ended up milking the club, and they basically left the club to die in the second division.
Yeah, by the way, Armenia promoted to is it called Almeria, I think it's called.
Almeria.
Yeah, Saudi-owned club but not the whole state. It's a Saudi owner. They promoted. I think they struggled, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, but big up to Barça Reacts. Honestly, I think Laporta is trying his best because Bartomeu definitely destroyed our finances, a lot of our finances. It sucks since situation isn't transparent, but Laporta is trying to protect the image of Barca. Bro, it's hard, man. It's hard. And this is why it's so easy for people to just go at us, calling us broke and all these things, bro. It's not about that, bro. Like, at the end of the day, we can go out and buy these players. Big up to Jester, man. Big up to you every single day. Like, we can go out and you know what's funny, right? I feel like this season, people now realize the real reason why Barcelona doesn't actually go out to buy players. It's not because we don't have the money. It's because if we buy the players, we can register these guys because of all these stupid rules that exist in La Liga. You see what I mean now, Zier? So when people call us broke, we're not broke.
La Masia, man.
But this is the thing. This is why, Zier, this is why La Liga, this is why when I tell people, Barca are not broke, we can go and buy players. The problem is, registering them is another problem. You understand what I'm saying? It's not the buying players that's the problem. It's actually making sure these players actually play for the team. And also, by the way, it's funny because do you know what's funny about Tebas? He actually tried to take Man City to court because he thought Man City were doing scams as well. This guy there.
Yeah, that's just next level pettiness, bro. I can't lie.
My point. This guy is so, bro. This guy, he's too much, man. I swear to God. In Premier League, what are you talking about? Like that has nothing to do with you. This 1115 rule that's happening with Man City has nothing to do with La Liga. Why are you getting involved? I remember a few years ago. Do you know what's funny about this guy? How petty this guy was. Do you remember in 2022 when he thought Mbappe was going to come to Real Madrid for free, right? He was trying to say, yeah, Mbappe coming to the league is going to be very, very good for the league and all that. And then Mbappe signed a new deal. This guy tried to take PSG to court, bro. Do you see my point? This guy is such a hater, bro. He's so petty. This is nothing. This is why when people.
Wait, man thought he was gonna actually do something against Nasser Al-Khelaifi.
Bro, it's literally like when Drake lost the beef with Kendrick and basically filed a complaint to court, bro. That's what this guy did.
The guy said he's trying to sue Man City, bro. You know who is he dealing with? He's dealing with Sheikh, bro.
I'm not joking. You see the owner of Man City? He is the Sheikh of Abu Dhabi, a whole city. One of the Emirates, yeah, the capital city of Emirates, by the way.
Yeah.
That's who he's trying to deal with. Habibi, this guy could, bro. He don't even need to try with a pinky, bruv, and he'd still get the job done over Tebas. What are we talking about?
I'm telling you right now. You know how many lawyers that?
Bro, forget the masarif. Boy, forget the masarif, which means money. Forget the flus, brother. All that guy needs is his presence, and it's finito, bro. Sheikh Mansour? Oh! You know, Sheikh of Abu Dhabi? Oh! Okay, then.
Bro.
Enough said. Enough. Forget the Masarif. This is presence, Habibi.
Zir.
It's like if Amir bin Mohammed bin Salman pulled up in town.
Zir, brother, let me tell you something. Tebas is a waffler, bro. That's what he is. That's more than anything else. That's what he is. You feel me, right? He is just a guy who talks big, but who's not gonna do shit. You understand what I'm saying? You see this whole situation, bro? It's not gonna change anything. We will still find a way to register Daniel Olmo and Paul Victor. You know why this guy is insisting on this? He's petty because he knows that next season we might be able to register Daniel Olmo and Paul Victor. He knows that we'll be able to register next season. So he is saying, listen, if they're gonna register next season, we're gonna make sure that they don't play for the rest of the season because they can't be registered this season. You see this guy? This is nothing. This is what I'm telling you. This guy's
Like
petty, bro.
it's fighting fights he don't belong in, bro. Like what?
Bro, he's trying to get involved, bro. By all means, go and deal with Man City, bro. Man City have all the lawyers, bro. This guy will lawyer up. You see that picture, that meme that goes viral of like the like 50 lawyers walking up right in front of the camera. That's Sheikh Mansour, bro. He's gonna bring all his lawyers. You want to take him to court? By all means. Yeah, all their lawyers, they're ready, bro. Like you got like this guy, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Catalan, hey, that's crazy.
Bro, look at this. Look, 25% for 50 years, right? CVC was a big scam. You know what's funny? You were saying that start making sense when you just talked about the government loans. Imagine if we signed this deal, what would have happened to La Liga? La Liga would have been finished at this point. Yeah, man. So yeah. This is it. Says I'm not gonna lie. Tebas is really doing everything possible to destroy Barcelona and La Liga, bro. And you know what's funny, right? You know what the problem is, Zir? Because nobody else is affected, nobody's saying anything. But the problem that people don't realize is if Barcelona doesn't do well, it's not good for the rest of the league. You know what's funny? Do you know that the reason we actually were able to get the Dani Olmo thing happen is because Florentino Perez actually helped us too? Why is Florentino Perez trying to help Barca? It's because he understands that the Barcelona-Madrid rivalry, in order for both clubs to make for Real Madrid to make money, they need to have a good rival. They can't just be like if they dominate. Like this is the thing people don't realize, man. Barcelona need Real Madrid to do well. If Real Madrid are shit, that doesn't help us. I want Madrid to have a good team. Don't get it twisted, right? I want Madrid to do well enough while we're doing well, because I'm like, all right, well, I look forward to it. Because I don't want to go to games where I'm thinking, at the end of the day, I don't want to go to games thinking that I'm better than these guys. These guys are so shit. Look at their squad. You understand what I'm saying, right? The issue is that's not what Tebas is. Tebas wants to ruin my club. He's a fan. You understand what I'm saying? He is a fan, bro. He is a guy who's like, I'm a Madridista, bro. I just want to fuck this club over. You understand what I'm saying, right? Whereas Florentino Perez is just saying, listen, man, that's not the case. We actually want to have a good rival in this league. Because Atletico is not going to give us a rivalry. We can tell you that for sure. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Now, quickly, before we move on,
because I'm starting to die out, but
yeah, we're just gonna talk about
we can talk about the Bayern thing, but I don't know what's worse. Tebas with La Liga or Tony Khan with AEW?
Oh, don't get me started with Tony Khan, bro. That guy, you saw what's him? Ricky Starks won the United, like you see.
Oh yeah, Saints. Hey, listen.
Yeah, listen, they can do everything. He says he really talks about the Etron scam and he tries to take it up to 50. Bro, he can take it up with whoever he wants, man. Take it up your butt for all I care. Absolute prick. Yeah, man. He said the treadmill destroying La Liga teams. Bro, it's crazy, man. So many teams are just dying in this league, bro. Like Valencia is gonna be next. That's the sad thing. If they don't get relegated this season, they're gonna get relegated next season, probably. Right? And then once again, we'll have another La Liga champion go down the cliff. Bro, you know what's funny now? It's such a random thing now, Azir. Every 10 years, one La Liga team always ends up falling off a cliff. Every time!
Mad.
But but no, don't worry, man. These guys, they're just following the rules. Absolute disgraces. But listen, Zir, I do want to move on, right? Because we're going to touch on this very quickly, okay? Bro, obviously last week when we spoke, right? We know, you guys lost Davies. I think Kim Jae was also having an injury issue. Upamecano, yeah. And unfortunately, bro, you guys have another injury in defense again. Ito, the guy we were talking about last week, who could potentially play left back and replace Davies. Yeah, he's also now injured. Talk to me, man. Like, as a Bayern fan, man, like, how close are you to just like how close are you?
I've already given up, bro. Bro, listen. Ito, bro, by the way, for those who don't know, you would think he started. He didn't. He came off the bench. Well, he came off the bench. Injured. Injured. You know what it is? I don't know what's going on with. I mean, listen, I know that Opa and Davies are injured into.
Oh, okay.
But generally speaking, like, our medical team needs to be like investigated, bro. Because how are we getting all these injuries with our team every year, bro? Like, oh my, it's just abysmal, bro. You know, listen.
This reminds me of. It reminds me of like, if I think was it around around when Xavi arrived, right? So this was like when Laporta also arrived. Bro, our doctors we had, they were fucking. I don't know what kind of doctors we had, but brother, these doctors were not good, bro. All our players, none of our players were fit. Like all our players were injury prone, bro. I feel like you're going through that now, bro. Like you guys don't have good doctors
Bro, and then they get rushed back. Like Kane rushes himself back usually when he gets injured, you know, all that stuff. Like it's just
Yep, thank you. Thank
one
you,
of them.
Tino.
Yeah.
They'll be next. Zero. Watch. They'll be next.
That'll be crazy. If that happens, that's going to be the craziest one of them all, in my
Bro,
opinion.
don't worry. They're already around the relegation zone. They're little.
Well, that's going to be the craziest one. These men have recent Europa League history. That's crazy.
Bro, Valencia are a top team, bro, in Spanish football. They're about to.
Oh, yeah, I know. But with Sevilla, it's like I'm talking about recently what they've done, and now.
Yeah, I hear. Yeah. But don't worry, man.
Bro, listen, man. But us back to our conversation, man. Like, bro, it's just at this rate, I'm having to rely on Stanisic and Guerrero. And by the way, Guerrero was not in training.
Oh no, why?
Yeah. Imagine he was training indoors. Yeah. Kim and Jay apparently has some back problem. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I mean, that in itself is crazy. You know, one thing I'll give Kim and Jay is he do be moving like a warrior because bro, how are you playing all these games? Oh my, and you're going through it all season is crazy to me. He should be rested personally. Bro, this week, bro, tomorrow, I'd play Goretzka center back. Because I'm sorry, man.
He played center back this season.
Yeah. There have been games he played center back.
How does he do down there?
He's all right, to be fair. But you know what it is? Goretzka defensively this season has been on it, bro. There's one thing I'll give Goretzka. Defensively, he's been on it. So it's just one of them ones in which he just adapts. But, like, you know, center back. Bro, listen, man, I'd start Goretzka center back next to Dyer because I just feel like Kim and Jay is overplaying himself. I don't care if he's an actual center back, bro. Your health. That's like what the agent said. Health comes first. This dude, at this rate, you're going to break him for the rest of his career after this season. I'm not here to saying that whether I think he should be here or not, bro. It's too unhealthy for what he's doing. I swear to God, bro. Keely's back. Bro, this guy could be concussed and he'll still play. Like, bro, it's not proper, man. Bro, I don't think football is his sport. I think wrestling is his sport, bro. You see what is going on, bro? This guy is playing through everything. Damn. It's mad. You know what I mean? And then my right back, I have Bowie and the Limer. If I play Bowie, he's going to get injured eventually. Limer is Limer. Kim is not going right back. I have Dyer center back. I have Kim center back, but I'm playing Goretzka because I don't want to. I already just talked about Kim. And then Guerrero, I mean, I just said that he didn't really trace. He doesn't look like he's going to play. Ito injured. Davies injured. Upa injured. Okay. Now, who do I have left? Stanisic probably playing left back. Which I actually don't mind Stanley left back because he's versatile enough and he's good enough to do all these roles. But it's just like, in terms of our squad, man, it's just absolute pathetic. Well, no, but it's okay. Griffin was like, I don't listen to fan favorites when it comes to Matthijs de Ligt. No. It's not about fan favorites, brother. Because it wasn't about fan favorites, you sold him for 50 million euros. You absolute bum. And now I have diarrhea and jackass in my center back partnership line because Upa injured. Davies.
You know what's funny, bro? You guys would have done so much with
Ito was supposed to be left center back, by the way. Yeah, not left back. Injured. Bro, I'm sorry. As I said earlier, when it comes to calling out the culture of the club, not like I agree with it, but I understand why, fans are usually spot on. When it comes to calling out what matters most, the football, where are they? Is this... bro, at this rate, you may as well be a historical museum.
Jeez.
May as well be. No. Or actually, no. I have a better one for you. We may as well be a political party.
Wow.
What are we doing? Can somebody call out the medical team, the directors? You know, I'm glad, by the way, that the supervisory board are now seeing through this crap from Griffin. I'm glad they're starting to see through this crap. I'm glad, low key, that
what have they been saying?
Wait, 1 second. I'm up 1 second. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they're getting somebody. They're considering and getting somebody to actually oversee what Herbal's doing.
Oh.
Although if it was up to me, I'd get rid of the fucker. But hey, this is where we are, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, as much as I get what he's trying to do, lower the books, this, yada, 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 yada. There are ways in doing it way better than what you're doing. There are way better ways in doing it. There's way better ways in approaching it. As I mentioned earlier with the Muller thing, you have bare scrubs in your team. And you're just like, okay, yeah, well, we're going to get rid of Muller because he's on the bench. Which, by the way, leading to that, by the way, I forgot to mention, speaking of supervisory, but Hoeneß. By the way, Hoeneß is no innocent in the matter neither. Because this dude literally said, apparently, it's reported, that Muller's in the bench, so I recommend that they just get rid of him. I recommend he just retire or something like that. Brother, who are you? No, honest to God, like, who are you?
Crazy.
Like, you as a legend yourself of this club, by the way. Yeah, I'm not going to be that disingenuous. And not just as a legendary player, as a legendary board member. You should be knowing better than everybody else. You should be knowing better than everyone else. And this is what you fucking say. You know, some mandem, I swear to God, some mandem just take the microphone off, like once they say something, that just mute. Just do this. You couldn't hear me for a second, could you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. May as well just do that. Just do that to him, because like, what the fuck am I hearing?
Doesn't make any sense because when he comes off the bench, he actually does a job, which is good. Like, that's the thing. The thing with Muller is
who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The thing with the one thing about Muller is he's a guy who knows where he is in his career, and he's accepted it. You understand what I'm saying? So he's not gonna sit there and say, "I expect to be starting every game," or "I expect that I should." Like, he's happy to sit at the bench, do a job when he's needed, and call and be the leader in the locker room. And sometimes those players are so valuable, and people, you know what the funny thing is? People don't like that. Is something that is not valued today anymore. Like, you need players like that. You need a leader who understands where he is in his career.
But this is why, again, another flaw in the logic of Herbal, about, oh, well, he's earning this much money. Motherfucker, the guy was going to fucking take a pay cut anyway. Because, as you said, Omar, he cares.
Yep.
Yeah, he cares. Now, back to the injury situation. The reason why I bring all this conversation up is because I think our medical team is an issue, and not many people are calling that out.
Right.
I don't think they are, bro. Like, this medical team stinks. This board stinks. Yeah. Until I see trophies in my cabinet, it's very hard for me to believe that this board has a vision. I'm sorry, bro. Like, so last season, people say Dyer was our best center back. Is that correct? That's what people say. Okay, then. There was a stat, apparently, that he got dribbled past the Leeds. They're doing like this thing, like how Liverpool with Van Dijk in the year they won the Champions League. Remember? Right. The funny thing is, where was the stat of the beginning stage of the season? Oh, wait, you can't find it because he wasn't our fucking player. Talk about trying to twist narratives, huh?
Right.
The whole point of the matter is, it took a protest outside of Sabne Strasse for De Ligt to play to only then see the true colors of who's really the best defender. Because I remember Dyer when he was playing alongside Upamecano. I remember it. I remember when he was playing alongside Kim. It wasn't the same as when he was playing alongside De Ligt. No. It wasn't.
Right.
But guess what? People were quick to say, oh, Dyer, new signing. You know, he's doing good on the eye, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Isn't center back about partnerships? They are, aren't they? So, you see, I think people flaw the idea of how you rate a center back. You know how I rate a center back? I rate a center back if you can do good on your own, and I mean, what I mean by on your own, I mean whoever's next to you, you do a job. You don't just do a job with one specific guy. Which, by the way, that one specific guy is more likely the leader out of the two. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And in this case, Dyer was just doing a job alongside the leader himself. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'll give you another I look at your club, yeah?
Right.
So you have Kobarsi, you have Araujo, and you have who else? Martinez. Martinez is a perfect one. Yeah, Inigo Martinez. Yeah. If you put him alongside Kobarsi, to be fair, Kobarsi is young, but you know, the fact that he's young, like, you can't really use him as a standard bearer for leaders, right? You don't see him as good, at least correct me if I'm wrong, as if you were to put him next to Araujo. When you put him next to Araujo, what happens?
Yeah. When you have Kubashi alongside Araujo, I think we see the best out of him.
Kubashi or Martinez, depends.
Martinez, yeah. You know what it is? You know why? Because you got they link with each other, right? They complement each other. One is a ball playing center back, and the other one is the brawn. Like, the one is the brain, and one is the brawn. You understand what I'm saying?
Araujo's basically
what's that?
But Araujo's instructing in the back line, and
exactly. So Araujo is the leader, right? Where yes, Kubashi is the better ball playing center back, right? But Araujo is like the brawn, and also he's the leader. You understand what I mean? He's the one that actually fixes the defense, right? And I think that's what works, right? Even when we had Inigo, because Inigo is a very experienced center back too. You understand what I'm saying, right? So he does a good job, like, you know, fixing the defense. And I think that's why the partnership worked at the start of the season when we had Kobashi and Inigo as our partnership at the start of the season, right? Yes, they were conceding, but it worked out. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't as bad as many people might have thought it would have been. But yeah, continue with your point.
Yeah, and by the way, even with Man City, for example, AK here in the chat, Ruben Diaz is the one leading that back line. I remember when they didn't have Diaz, the defense was a bit off. The moment he's in, boom, leading back line. Done. This is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I feel like center back leaderships is so underrated, man. A partnership, sorry, it's a so underrated concept. Like, you know what I mean? But bro, this is what I'm saying. Like, we get rid of De Ligt. By the way, I forgot to mention this, and it'd be disingenuous if I didn't mention it, but I won't get too much into it.
Mizraoui, enough said.
I think we know. Anyone who knows. Those of you who don't know, go and do your Google.
Enough said.
I'm not saying anymore. I mean, look at Mazraoui, bro. Look at you guys. Look at what you guys are dealing with your fullback positions. He could have done a job, but hey, this is not about football, ladies and gentlemen. We all know what it is. So
left back, right back.
Yeah, man. But look at you guys this season, man. Look at this season. You guys are struggling with your fullbacks, man. I'm sure you'd have done with that Mazraoui this season.
Richard Davies been good, but yeah.
You know what's funny? Mazraoui, it's funny because when you guys signed him, we were actually trying to sign Mazraoui too. And the crazy thing is, bro, we actually need a Mazraoui in our team. For God's sake, bro. He should have joined us. Because he would have definitely been perfect for us. Like, because he's a right back. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, man. But listen, Zir, you guys do have a game tomorrow, though. Obviously, you guys play on Friday. Good for you. you get your game out of the way, you know, before the weekend, because you still that will give you more time for your Champions League game. But I do want to ask you, tomorrow you go away at Augsburg. What do you say about that game, man?
It's gonna be a tough game, man, because Augsburg are very good at containing opposition that like to keep the ball. Last game, actually, we beat them 3-0. I remember they were actually containing us very well for majority of the game, and then Kane scored a hat trick. I think he scored 2 pens and 1 goal that resembles a Bundesliga logo. Funny enough.
Wow.
Yeah, it was one of them ones in which he just dummied to keep him. Like, whoa. But hey, from Goretzka's over the top. Hey, brilliant. But like, listen,
Mhm.
we're going to their ground now. We're going to WW. Is it WWK? It's called Arena.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say WWE. I was like, nah, bro, it's no way.
No. WWK Arena or WWK whatever Arena, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling. First of all, it's a Bavarian derby. So the fact that it's a Bavarian derby, you know, Augsburg is going to want to give their all.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, we're going to want to give our all so we can try to win the league, but and maintain the lead. But the thing is, man, the fact that they want to actually win, they're going to try to, contain us and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's going to test us and see what we're really made of, man. What we have to do is when we get our chances, score them. Because we're not going to get as many as people think. We're not going to get as many. You know what I mean? We need to be careful in the transition because, bro, I just talked about my back line.
Mm.
So, yeah, listen. I do think, though, Bayern will somehow win this game because I don't know what it is. There's something about our players this, like, part of the season. Like, they'll find a way to get something.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, hey, listen. As much as I say companies this, companies that, one thing I'll give him credit for, and it'd be disingenuous if I didn't do so, because let's be honest, not many managers have this about them. He's willing to actually learn. How many times do we talk about Arteta not willing to learn? To be fair to company, he is willing to learn.
Right.
Whether he gets it right or wrong at times, that's a different discussion. You know? But one thing is, he's pretty... Like, if he wasn't willing to learn, put it this way, we would have not beaten Leverkusen in the Champions League. We would have probably not even got a draw against them in the league. You know? So it's only fair that as much I give him criticism, I give him praise. You know what I mean? So, listen, fair enough to company. And a lot of the players are saying that he understands the players. He tells them when he needs to improve this. You know, yeah, we can see the talks, but I feel like people are using our league phase games as like the standard bearer of what we're about. Yeah, we can see the talks, and we probably will now with these defenders that we have. But if we had Opa and if we had Davies, I feel like our defense would have been better than it was at the start of the season. It's just now that we lost out on our defenders. Do I trust Dyer to recover? No. Do I trust Kim and Jay to like not do something stupid? No. You know, Guerrero, if he plays, don't get me started. Lying, cheating, and stealing. Hey, listen, bro. The way he be moving, it's like Dominic with Finn Balor these days, bro. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, even though he's good on the ball, fine. But, like, when it comes to defending, it's pathetic. You know what I mean? That's why I've said he's a wingback, not a fullback. And then, I mean, Stanisic, he needs to start concentrating because we're going to need him more than ever. Bowie, if I play him, he's going to get injured, so we're just missing out on somebody again. Limer, I mean, I don't think he's that good enough, to be honest. But, hey, when you need him to be a dog in defense at times, he can do so. If you need him to, like, you know, do these simple things, he'll do them. But, like, the problem is, in transition, he's not quick enough to catch up. So, hey, we're in a situation. And by the way, Orbig in goal is going to be key, man. Now, Orbig, the problem with him, he's very young. And he stepped into this role. I mean, he was always going to be the guy that replaced Manuel Neuer, to be fair, in the long run, ever since he signed in January. But the thing is, he's being played earlier into his reign because of Neuer being an idiot. You know what I mean? And listen, man, I have faith in the kid.
I've seen enough of when I first joined. I was actually having a look at him. His reaction to anything is crazy, bro, and his reflex is pretty decent for his height. Not pretty good, I should say, for his height. So, but the thing that struck out to me the most is the one I mentioned earlier, the reaction to like the shots. The moment he see move. You know what I mean? Like that is impressive. I just feel like at times he needs to be more focused, because I remember the Bochum game, for example. He lacked a bit of focus, but then again, the Leverkusen game, he showed his level, the potential to the level he can be. So let's hope that he continues in the Augsburg game, and then the Inter games, and Borussia Dortmund next week as well, next weekend. And yeah, listen, I'm just praying to God that this team performs regardless of our situation. I hope they use this as like a fuel to as companies say, be more together and want to try to win. As corny as it sounds, but
I hear you. But what do you say the scoreline was?
Needs to perform as well. He needs to be a bit more calm, bro. That guy, bro. He's gonna be playing.
Yeah, I remember you and you guys were absolutely cooking him.
No, Liam was more livid than I am, because Liam wants to.
Yeah, he was. I remember, bro. Was it in the stream that he was crashing out?
Wait, what? Sorry.
I said, was it in the stream that he was crashing out, Liam?
Oh yeah. No. Liam completely lost it with Paulino.
That's what I'm saying, bro. He literally lost his mind. Like this guy, he pissed him off.
Yeah, but let's be honest. You and I both know that guy can react too quickly. So
it's disgusting, but hey, it is what it is. Because my guy,
disgusting, raw.
Hey, no, I meant to say no. I made a mistake. I was trying to say it's
raw Liam.
Yeah, it was insane, bro. That's what I was trying to say. I said disgusting by accident, but it was insane. Like, bro, he lost his mind. I was like, yo, it was one mistake, bro. Relax. Nah,
bro, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen these mistakes. Our players that like.
Oh, you've seen it? Yeah. Okay. I see.
No. I'm not talking about Paulinho. I'm saying we've seen these type of things at Ramos, and look at him at Madrid, like.
Right.
You know I hear. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. For those who want Paulinho, I want you guys to genuinely ask yourselves this question: didn't we want a DM to begin with? And don't tell me Goretzka is moving like one now. Let's be honest. There is a reason why they wanted to get rid of him in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason why he had to earn his way.
He wasn't even called up for this German team, the Euros.
Yeah, now he's called up and he's doing a job. Fantastic. Great. However, let's be honest. We've seen this before. Get a new contract, slack. If that guy gets a new contract, bro, I guarantee you, I remember when I said this, he's going to start slacking again. Hopefully he learned his lesson, but let's be honest, certain players, you can just tell by their demeanor. I feel like he's one of them guys. When he gets that new deal, done. That guy is going to forget.
Yeah, you feel like he's just playing for a deal. I got you. But very quickly, talk to me about scoreline, man. What's your scoreline?
I think 2-1. I think we're going to make things hard for ourselves, yeah.
So obviously, I mean, we're gonna touch on this very quickly because next time, by the time we do the next show, the game would have already happened. But you guys play Inter Milan, man. Very quickly, what are you saying about that game, scoreline wise?
Actually, I'll talk more on it tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, by the way, I see you're doing a preview with George Moore.
Yeah. Tomorrow afternoon.
Make sure you guys go and put the notification bell, so that when the stream starts, you guys can watch it, man. Shout out to George Moore.
Yeah, man. But I will say this from now, they're gonna make it so much harder for us. As of right now, I'm going to say, because I can see Inter Milan miss chances if they do get attacked, bro. But Lautaro and Thuram, I mean, you know what they're like, bro. I'll say 1-1.
1-1 at home. Okay.
Allianz Arena, 1-1.
1-1. All right, cool, man. But yeah, man, listen, guys. Big up to every single one of you guys who are watching. Big up to every single one of you guys who's been here throughout the stream. Big up to my guys, Zier, guys. We are gonna be closing out soon, guys. But big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys smash the likes if you haven't smashed the likes yet. And also, guys, turn on notifications, turn on the bell icon, guys, because at the end of the day, you guys are not, you got turn the bell icon so that you guys will be notified every time I go live, guys. This has been the FCB show. As always, me and Zier today were holding it down. Liam, man, Liam, he did ghost today, man, this guy. But big up to every single one of you guys watching, man. But yeah, listen, Zier, tell these guys what's coming up on your channel, bro.
I mean, just now we mentioned tomorrow I'm doing what you call it, the stream with Mo about Inter Milan game. For those of you who are interested, I'm pretty sure most of you are, because he is a pretty big name in our community. And I'll be doing, actually, we play against Al Nassr tomorrow, Al Hilal.
Okay, so you got 2
So
games.
so I'm doing a watch along for Al Hilal rather than for Bayern and Bayern. I talked to
But you'll be watching the Bayern game too, so yeah.
Yeah, I'll do. Yeah, but my priority focus will be on Al Hilal more so than Bayern tomorrow. So yeah, whoever's interested, watch along. You know what I'm saying? Cristiano Ronaldo against us. Mitrovic back.
I can see why you're watching that game. I'll probably watch that game.
No. To be honest, no. But regardless, the Nasrs are one of our biggest rivals. Are you crazy?
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah.
Yeah. Al Hilal versus Al Nassr, bro. Any win I can get against these absolute scums, I'm here for it, bro.
Yeah, I'll be watching you. Don't worry, bro. I'll be in the chat, bro. I'll be watching that game, bro. Don't worry. But
By the way, can I just say this as well? John Duran is going to be against us as well. For those of you who are interested in Duran, he's taken by Al Nassr. I actually hope to God he does not get a counter-attack opportunity and score. Our defense, my God.
That's going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem. But,
bro, he's one of them guys that, like, you know what he is, yeah? I swear down. He's one of them guys, overall game. He'll do something here and there, you know? But he's not somebody that will perform in 90 minutes. Yeah? When you give him an attack.
Crazy.
Bro, against Al Ahly, I swear down, bro. That one goal he scored, bro. Man ran, bro. Man went past like 2 or 3 man, slotted bottom near post.
I think I've seen it, bro. He's definitely been cooking.
He is ridiculous.
Nah, I hear it.
He's one of them strikers. He's like Tony, bro. They don't give no damns.
Oh, crazy. But yeah, man. But yeah, listen, guys, make sure you guys go and subscribe to Zier Talks channel, guys. Just if you guys want to check his channel, guys, I'll put the link to his channel in the description, guys. All right. Make sure you guys, or just type on the search engine Zier Talk, man. You guys will find him. You understand what I'm saying, right? And make sure you guys go subscribe to him. He's doing, like I mentioned, he's doing a preview tomorrow with George Moore on his channel. Make sure you guys are there to send some support. And also, guys, make sure you guys go subscribe and send some support to him when he's doing the Al Nassr game. Because if they don't win, bro, this guy's definitely going to be crashing out in that stream, bro. But yeah, man. Listen, guys. This stream, guys, will be redirecting you guys to Strasbourg Steve. My guy Steve is actually on live right now. He's doing a Premier League show on his channel right now, guys. Make sure you guys go put Omar BYT Raid in the comment section below. And guys, big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, guys. And big up to every single one of you guys. Omar BYT Raid going to Strasbourg Steve. This has been the FCB show, guys. Big up to every single one of you guys, man. Take care.